Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. So, welcome back. For a long time we don't have class. So today's topic is creating poverty. So poverty is poor, right? Terrible position. Then creating is more poor and poorer. So that's today's topic. And how to understand poverty, being poor in Buddhist perspective. That is the main topic today. Today's topic is based on the Anguttara Nikaya, the collection of the number discourses. So one time when the monks are surrounded by the Buddha, the Buddha asked the monk that bhikkhus, isn't poverty the suffering in the world for the person who enjoys sensual pleasure? So being poor is suffering because we don't have enough things to enjoy life. But for the person who wants to enjoy sensual pleasure is more unsatisfactory for them because they want to enjoy but they don't have anything to enjoy. That's why it's suffering for them. So the bhikkhus reply, yes, sir. So for the poor person, because they want to enjoy, but they don't have, so they figure out a way to get what they want. So the poor, the penniless, the destitute people, they fall into debts, borrow from other person, loan to get what they want. So this lady, she wants to enjoy buying things. Then she have to borrow money from others. Because if she is poor, but she accepts what she has, so no problem come. But she doesn't accept, so she doesn't want like that. She wants to enjoy life, a lot of things, luxury things. So have to borrow, so fall into debt. That is the second one. And then behind that, next to the debt, because she poor, she cannot have what she wants, so she fall into debt, she borrow money, then she have to accept the interest come with the money. Nobody lend you money for free, right? So you have to pay interest monthly, daily, etc. And this is really difficult for her because she's poor, she cannot take care of herself. Then she borrow money to enjoy life, and for sure that he cannot repay the debt at the first short time. It could take a long time, and then she have to pay interest, and that interest will be bigger and bigger day by day, and then. There will be the time that she cannot pay the interest when it falls due. And there is a letter notice come. It is called a warning. Is it warning? Is suffering for her at this moment. First, she borrow money, she fall to debt. Being poverty is a suffering. Having debt is a suffering. Pay interest is a suffering, and then now have a warning for the interest not paid on time is another suffering for her. And when she have this reminder, this warning, she need to think. There are a lot of worrying. She need to worry. There are a lot of things she need to worry. Like here, if we don't pay on time, so we may lose the house, or we may be imprisoned. So there are a lot of worry and a lot of suffering for that person. And next, if she cannot if the warning come already, and then she cannot repay, so what happened? So the person who lent the money, the loaner, the lender will come and remind forcefully, like this picture has shown you, that, hey, it's time to pay the money, why don't you? And for sure that he cannot pay because she cannot take care of herself. Well, so they fall into debt and more interest. How can they pay interest on time? Then being chased, by the lender. So he or she should try to disguise themselves, hide themselves carefully, not let the lender know where they are, and they're living in the suffering all the time. Because if the lender know where they are, they will be catched, right? So that is another suffering for the poor person in this situation. And then there will be one day that she will be caught, and they will be imprison him or her. So that is another suffering for the poor person. So she is poor. Poor is a suffering for her. Being poor is a suffering for her. But she fell into the debt in another suffering for her. Then pay interest in another suffering for her. Then the warning when she cannot pay on time is another suffering. And being prosecuted by the lender is another suffering. And being imprisoned because she cannot repay is another suffering. For there are 6 kinds of suffering for the person who wants to enjoy sensual pleasure but poor. So that is a lay life. So how the Buddha understands it is simply. So the person who is called poor from Buddhist perspective is the one who doesn't have faith, who doesn't have here called moral shame, moral bread, whereas moral is energy, and the last one, panya, is wisdom. So the person who doesn't have faith, who doesn't have confidence in the karma and its result, who doesn't believe that we are all our own owner of our karma action, what we do will deal the consequence, doesn't have faith. And because it doesn't have faith, and doesn't have moral shame to what the evil deed they do, they don't feel shame to do it. And the third one is ottappa. Ottappa is moral trap. You be scared, afraid of doing that. So there are simile to let you to understand this hiri and ottappa. So there is a stick, and on the stick there's the waste, the excrement on the stick, because it's smelly, it's filthy, it's dirty. So you don't want to take it. So it's the feeling of moral shame when you see the evil deed. You don't want to do it because you feel disgusting. You don't want to do it. And for moral dread, there are stake, but fire burning, and then you don't want to take it, because if you take it, you will burn yourself, you hurt yourself. So you don't want to take it. So that is afraid, scaring of the evil deed. You don't want to do it. And then the energy. That person, because he or she doesn't believe that the karma will yield the result, so they don't try hard to avoid the unwholesome action. They don't try hard by the effort, with the effort. And with the wisdom, doesn't have the wisdom knowing that we are the owner of our karma. What we do, we yield the consequence. If we did the good thing, skillful thing, we will receive good consequence. If we do unskillful things, we will receive bad consequence, bad result. So the person who is poor in Buddhist perspective, in the Buddha definition, in the Arya definition, is the person who doesn't have saddha, faith, hiri, moral shame, ottappa, moral dread, virya, energy, and panya, wisdom. They call poor. And why is that? Because it's the beginning for the wrong way of living for that person. Because they don't have faith, they don't have knowledge and regret, energy and wisdom to live in karma and the result, so they will do whatever that make them, that bring benefit for them. That's why they will do whatever action, it's unskillful action by the way of body, by way of speech, and by way of thinking. So how to do that? They killing or hurt living being, stealing other property, or break others' happiness, family happiness, or speak harshly, or speak false speech, or destroy the relationship between two people by way of speaking, or they talk nonsense, not bring happiness for other person, or they have the wrong view, or they think to hurt other person, something like that. So there are several ways of the person who doesn't believe or doesn't know we are all karma owner, right? So because of that, it is called he fall into debt in Buddhist perspective. Why is that? Why is called debt? Because he have to pay it back. The karma, it can give the consequence in this life, in the next life, or in several lives in the samsara. It depends. It depends on how serious it is, and if it have enough condition, it will yield the result. It could be this life, it could be the next life to come, or many lives in the cycle of rebirth until we attain Nibbana and when we free from the cycle of rebirth. And we are not sure that we pay it one time or many times. Everything it depends on how serious the karma is and the condition for it. We don't know exactly. When it want to come, it come, and we have to prepare for that. So the person who doesn't believe in the karma and the result is never afraid of that. So that's why they will do it freely for their own benefit. And when they do that, after they do the unwholesome action, unskillful action, they doesn't want other people to know that. They want people to know, hey, I'm a good person. Okay? Everybody wants to be, I'm a good person. So that he tried to harm himself to many layers. So he wishes that no one know me. He planned that no one know me. He speak with word that no one know me. He strive by the way of body, may no one know me. So he have a thinking, he have a plan, he speak it out, and with the action, body action, to do whatever that make people doesn't know he's the bad person. Many. So at the first time, he does one unskillful action. But to cover it up, he needs to do many add up for it. That's why the Buddhists call it is paying interest. Pay interest. So long time ago when I was in Vietnam, I have a class like this, and I explain there a quote in Buddhism called the person who commits the false speech, the precept false speech, will do whatever bad action easily. So at that time, some of the devotees didn't agree. They say, how is serious like that? But you can imagine that you tell the people that is the truth, but it's not true, right? So if you want to people believe that it is real truth, so you have to tell all the things to make people believe that is the truth. So a lie add up to another lie and another lie, many lies, to make the people think that this is the truth. So in this case, the same. You do evil action. You don't want the people know that you are bad people. So you cover it up with lot of unskillful action to make people doesn't know that you are the bad person. So that is called pay in interest. But one day, when you do bad things, the people around you, the people close to you, will know. People far away maybe they're not, but the people nearby you, the good person, stay near you, they will know, they will see, and they start to discuss about you. This person is like that behavior is like that, action is like that. And sooner or later you will know that they are discussing about your bad behavior. That is the warning. It is the warning. And then that person go to a quiet place, like in the wilderness, at the foot of a tree, at the empty place. The bad memory about what you did, and the remorse, regret will come and torture you. Torture the person who do evil deed. People say that you can lie to other person. It's really difficult to lie to yourself because you know what happened, what really happened. So that all the things, even you try to hide really carefully, but you will be tortured by that such memory and regretful. I like that. So that is the next one. So the last one, the person who doesn't have sadhana, hiri, ottappa, vijaya, doesn't have good quality, so they do whatever they do, they cover it up, even be warned by other person, but be in regret or torture him like that. After he passing away, he will be in prison, be trapped in the prison of hell or the prison of animal realm. And Bhikkhu, I don't see a single prison that is brutal as vicious and such as obstacle to reaching the supreme sanctuary from the yoke as the prison of hell or the prison of animal realm. So beings in the hell or in the animal realm is not fun at all. And when we enjoy in the hell, it cannot like a visit, travel there 1 day or 2 days. It's not like that. It could be long time and continue to be torture. And when the people fall in this situation, it's really hard for them to get out of it easily. And take a lot of time and a lot of suffering. That is the hell. How about the animal, being an animal? Some people think that being an animal like a pet, really happy life. You're sure compared to wild animal better, but it's not good as human because like the dog, he always worry that he do the right way to make us happy, right? And when like when the thunderstorm, scary, holy, so it is not happy at all. And another thing that in the animal kingdom, they don't have enough wisdom to know which is right, which is wrong, which is skillful kusala and skillful akusala. It doesn't know. So that is bad for them to get out of it, to go to a higher realm. It's very difficult. So that's why the Buddha gives the simile that being imprisoned, be put in the jail of hell or the jail of animal kingdom. So that is the comparison. That's why the stupid evildoer, knowing their own mistake, go to one of the animal realms or is trapped in hell. Such imprisonment is true suffering from which a wise one is released. So the wise one, the one who has wisdom, the one who knows that I'm the owner of our karma and action. So because he has faith in the karma and action, he feels shy to do the evil deed. He afraid to do the evil deed. He has the energy to try hard to prevent himself to do the evil deed. He has the wisdom to know what's right, which is wrong. So because he has like that, he's not poor in Buddhist perspective. And because he has those qualities, he tried to avoid the bad action, the evil action by way of body, speech, and by mind. And because of that, he doesn't need to cover him up, doesn't need to show that I'm a good person, because he's really a good person. And because of that, nobody complain or criticize about his behavior. And when you go to a good entity, a wilderness, he doesn't feel regret or anything because he do the good thing. And after that, surely he will be far away from the prison of hell and prison of animal. So I would like to show you one story written in the story of Hungry Ghost, the Petawatu. So in a village not so far from the Savatthi, there's dishonest trader. Why is called dishonest? Because he lived by the wrong measurement. He will mix the husk of the rice, the cover of the rice, the waste one, and mix with the red soy powder, and mix with the salty red rice. He sell the red rice, but he mixed the husk of the rice and the red soy powder to make it more weight than sell to people. So that is the wrong measurement, that the bad karma he did. And the son got angry, got annoyed, thinking that he did not respect my friend when they come to the house by that way. So when he got angry, he didn't think other things. He took a leather band in the yoke of for the cow. So he took it and he hit his mother hardly. And the daughter-in-law, because she wanted to eat, so she stole and eat the meat that prepared for the whole family. She stole that, and when people asked her, she said, "No, I didn't eat, I didn't take it," and swear that if I take it, so let me eat my flesh taken from my own back, from life to life. No, I don't do that. If I do that, I would eat the flesh of my back from life to life. She swear that, and the wife, she when the beggar come to her house and ask for food, ask for help, she said, I don't have anything, I don't have. And when people pressure her, please give me, she swore that, no, I don't have. If there's something I have, but I said I don't, let me eat the excrement wherever I'm born. Swearing, another swearing. So because of that, one time when the Venerable Moggallana, one of the chief disciples of the Buddha, when he go past by a forest, and he saw a group of four hungry ghosts. One spread the burning husk on his head. Another go hit himself on the head. Another one eat his own flesh for food. And the last one eating filthy and disgusting excrement. So he come and ask, why this has happened for you? Is there any evil deed and the result of that? So they tell me the story. Those four is the family of four in the past. After they pass away, they was born as a hungry ghost in the forest. And the father, the dishonest trader, often hold the burning husk of Christ on both hands and spread on his head, and a lot of suffering by that way. And the son, because he hit his mother, so he often hit himself by the iron hammer and really suffering by that way. And the daughter-in-law suffered because she swore, so she got what she wanted. She often took her flesh on the back by a big and sharp nail to eat it as she swore. And the mother, when the more good and fragrant rays come to her, it becomes filthy excrement like what she swore in the past. She often took those things by both hands and eat with a lot of suffering. So you see, this person is really poor in Buddhist perspective. Even they are trader, they are rich in this life. But they're poor because they don't have faith, they don't have moral shame, they don't have moral dread, they don't have energy, they don't have wisdom to know that we are all owner of our command and result. So because of this, they do whatever to for their own benefit. And because of that, they have to pay back in the next life, becoming hungry ghost. But one thing you should consider, the Buddha didn't mention about the prison of hungry ghosts, when he just mentioned the prison of hell and the animal realm. Why? As my understanding, because as a hungry ghost, there are ways to escape. There are ways to escape. People, relative, can do good deed and share the merit for them. There's only one way to escape. But those in the hell, a lot of suffering, a lot of torturement, cannot think of the good things, and animal doesn't have wisdom to know what is right, what is wrong. So at least hungry ghost is not totally bad like this, but in this case it's really bad because the whole family become the hungry ghost, so no one can help them. So that is more terrible. So today's topic, growing poverty, being poor and get worse and worse then. Start with in the low life, the person who is poor want to enjoy the sensual pleasure, so get to borrow money, fall to debt. And because of fall to debt, they have to pay interest. And when they cannot pay interest on time, they get the warning. When they get the warning and then cannot repay, they will be chased by the lender. And when they be chased by the lender, they have to disguise themselves, hide themselves, and live in suffering all the time, live in worry all the time. And one day they will be caught by the lender and be imprisoned. So in the same way, the person who doesn't have faith, doesn't have moral shame, moral dread, energy and wisdom, to know that we are owner of our own action. That person will do the bad deed by way of body, by way of speech, by way of the mind. And after doing that, they try to hide, to cover up what they done, to wish that nobody know what they do. But the people, sooner or later, they will know about that. They will discuss about that. This is the warning for them. And then when they leave alone, they will face all of the bad memory, the regrets, what they have done. And that will be more suffering for them. And that is chasing by the lander chasing. And the last one, when they pass away, they have to be imprisoned in the hell or in the prison of animal kingdom. So a lot of suffering. So we are a wise person. We know we are owner of our karma, so we should choose which one benefit for us. So don't be a poor and crying poverty like those people. So thank you for your listening.
Okay, we have discussion time. So today is about being poor or in poverty. But we, as a Buddhist, we know there's a action and consequence. What people did, that they reap the result of being born in the poor condition of poverty. So we often, when we see people being poor, live in a very harsh environment or having a hardship, we have compassion, we have loving kindness, we reach out and we help them. But there's often a shame in our culture, in Vietnamese culture, that we can only help them so much, to get them by the hardship for so much. We cannot help them to get them out of being poor or poverty. Because being poor or being in poverty is the result of the bad action that people committed for them to face this result. So that's why, it's very difficult to help someone who is poor or poverty. Even if you have the capability to help them, to get them out from being poor, for them to have a very good life, if that is possible, then you can only help them in one life. You cannot get them out of it until they understand the action and the result. They need to do it differently to eventually show a good deed for them to reap the good result. Then and only then they can get themselves out from being poor. Because the result, the bad deed, the bad result, the bad action they committed will continue to yield the result again and again in this life and the life to come. Because when people are poor, like he said it, in the lesson, that they poor, they don't have anything to enjoy, but they want to enjoy like other people. So what do? More likely, they will commit stealing, lying. Because being poor, they want to be rich, they want to have things, they want to have money to live, to survive, or to be with other people. So they have to commit a lot of unwholesome deeds. You have seen many people, they steal because they want this, but they cannot afford it, so they steal it. Or they cheat, when you sell stuff, when people buy, in the market, there's, they use the scale, and sometimes they tip the scale, or they cheat other people, or they lie to other people so that they can get the benefit. Because they don't understand, there's no wisdom, they don't understand that action will always have consequence. So they themselves, being poor already, they sour bad deed, they be poorer and living, in poverty more. So the only time that you can help yourself is to understand the cause, the root cause of it, and then prevent yourself from committing all unwholesome deed. Then and only then, in the future, you'll be free from it. Or they understand that for me to be free from all the poverty, they need to live their life generosity, as a, do generosity, rather than cheat, you help. Rather than cheat, you do accordingly, righteously. You sell accordingly. Don't sell or don't do business, with a lot of false speech or false action. That's the only way you get yourself out of it. So that's why you understand a lot of time when people are poor, more likely it's because they commit like stealing verbally or action, verbally like cheat, lying to other people, bodily by stealing, right? Or the scale or thing like that. That's most likely the result of being poor. So if you understand that, you'll prevent yourself, right? And then from now on, do more generous, do more giving. And a lot of people say, wait a minute, being poor already, I don't have enough food to eat. How can I make a donation? How can I help others when I don't have anything to eat? People often think like that. But giving is so many ways of giving. You don't just give food and money. It's called giving. If you don't have money, you can do other things that make help others, as well, right? If you have food to eat, may not have abundance, but you save 1 grain of rice to others, still more than you have, right? See, a lot of when I practice as a monk in the poor country in Myanmar, for example, go alms round in the poor village. I have seen many poor people. They barely have anything to eat, and yet they still perform giving. So how they do that? They know that we Vietnamese monks like to eat vegetable, the thing. So they go out when it rains, it grows some kind of vegetable, the vegetation that edible. So they pick those and they make the offering to the monk. They don't spend any money. It's a little bit more effort for them, but that's still giving. And to us monks, we need this kind of vegetable to survive or to for our health. So that's giving already, but they don't have to spend money for that, right? So there you go. There's so many ways for you to perform generosity if you know how to do it. A lot of people have this mentality that I have to have money to make donation, to buy food. I have to have money to buy good food to offer to the monk, because I heard that offer good thing to the monk is like excel giving will get good result. But being a monk, we should not distinguish whether this is good quality or bad quality. As long as giving to the monk should be grateful and accept it, even though it's not good quality. Because it's not good quality to the monk, but maybe it's excellent quality to the poor people. So that's why monk should not have any discrimination on what he received. He should be thankful and appreciate the generosity of people. So being a donor, don't ever get yourself into the situation that what you give might not meet the quality or the standard of what the monk received. So don't ever think like that. And whoever get you into that position because they don't know or they don't do it right. So there you go. Being poor, there's so many ways for you to do generosity, to do giving. Or you can give comfort, good speech to someone. That's still considered giving, generosity. It doesn't cost anything. So perform like that. Get yourself out of being poor, poverty. Okay? And when you have good living, you have good, when you have, like, you have money, you have good condition in life, that you're well off. Don't ever think that you are well off. You have a lot of merit, a lot of punya, and you don't have to worry about anything. So you don't have to worry about performing generosity or helping others. You have punya, but you need to build it up more, because eventually the punya that you have, and when you commit unwholesome deed, your punya starts chipping off, wear away, right? And then eventually you lose all your punya and you fall down. So if you have good condition in life, you are off, continue to do good deed, continue to do generosity, make more punya to build it up, rather than wear it away or spend it all. And if you don't have anything, this is how you build it up. And that's the only way you get yourself out. Don't rely on other people to help you out just only for a few days or a year. They can only help you so much because they have their own thing to worry, their own suffering to take care of. Every one of us, whether you rich or poor, you all have baggage. You have defilement, you have your own difficulty, hardship. They have their own problem to take care. They cannot carry you on their back because, they cannot carry you forever like that. So that's why if you understand the cause and effect, then you change your life. You change the condition of life. And what he used here, and being poor in material is bad already, but it's not comparable to being poor in moral conduct or mental, like he mentioned over here. This is the simile that the Buddha is saying, that this kind of being poor you will face again and again in the future when you don't have the standard, the teaching of the Buddha, because you don't have faith, you don't understand the cause and effect, you get yourself in deeper trouble. So knowing that, then you need to, change the way you live. And I always urging everyone that whether you come to the temple or you practice at home, always understand effect, the law of cause and effect, and live accordingly to prevent yourself from falling into the poor state or the willful realm. But not everyone come to the temple will do according to the teaching of the Buddha. A lot of people who come to the temple, they help the temple out, but for any reason I don't understand, they did not learn about the Buddha teaching. So recently, I just heard this story in Vietnam. There's one lady, she goes to the temple very regularly to help the temple out. And the temple has a lot of money and a lot of donation. So when she saw donation with a lot of money, I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars for construction. So she sneaked in and stole the money. She stole hundreds of thousands of dollars. So eventually she got caught because there's a camera, right, record her action. So she got caught and thrown in prison. And took 1 year to be prosecuted, brought out to the court and prosecuted. And she had to face 16 years in prison. So I don't know what happened to the money, whether she returned it or all gone now. But anyway, she did come to the temple. She's supposed to learn what the teaching of the Buddha, the right way to practice, rather than, make a lot of good deed. In the temple, you service, you help out. There's a lot of wholesome deed, a lot of kusala kamma, right? Wholesome deed. But she didn't do any of that. She used the temple to commit bad deed and face the consequence. And I tell you, as a Buddhist, people often say that if you steal from other people, whether they rich or how they make the money, it's not as bad as you steal it from the temple, because the temple is where many people make donation, and some of them are very poor, right? They save money to donate to the temple, hoping that the temple build building a place for a lot of people who come and learn the teaching of the Buddha so that they can live their life, according to the teaching of the Buddha, to be free from all the hardship, all the being poor like this. The reason why you're poor because you commit like you do this kind of things. So avoid it. So the temple is like the school when people go and training to learn the right way and to avoid all the bad consequence. But see, in the temple, she should learn that, but she didn't. She, the other way around, commit bad deed. So that's it. Worse than you steal from other people. Because as you know, not everyone donate to the temple are well off. They are poor, but they want to make a donation. They want to, do generosity, want to do giving so that they can be liberated from being poor. And she steal that money, she owe more than she steal from the rich. Because some rich, they don't have to do much. They have this big money to donate, right? But some people save penny to make donation, hoping that they do good deed and they be free from the poor, being poor, right? So there you go. Have wisdom. Understand the law of cause and effect, and you shall be free from all the poverty or all the bad state. Not mention that you've been in, because committed unwholesome, you'll be born in hell and in animal kingdom, and that would be like imprisonment, right? And this is worse than the human imprisonment, where you have term, and then you only be imprisoned for one life. But imprisoned in hell or in Canada is indefinite. And hell, we all know how suffering, how tormented it is. But in animal kingdom, why is it that it's so difficult? Because animals, they don't have the wisdom, the knowledge, the cause and effect to get themselves out of it. Like being human, we've been a bad person, but eventually we've been wake up or been taught by someone who's right, and you're convinced, and then you're afraid of unwholesome deed. From then on, you change your life by doing all good deed. So that's how you liberate yourself. But being animal, they don't understand that. Like Kobe, our temple dog, he's well off because we monk to take good care of him, protect him, and a lot of devotees give a lot of good things for him. So he, compared to his brother, sister in the neighborhood, he's much well off than this dog. But he has a lot of suffering too, because he always try to please us and always worry that we go somewhere not taking him along, or being home alone, or being cooped up in the room when a lot of guests come. He doesn't have the freedom. But most of the time, he always worry or scared. When he heard thunder, he's terrified because he didn't understand what all this noise. It could be a bullet that killed him or something like, we don't know. But he's terrified. But if we have wisdom, we understand. We be less terrified, right? And the animal, all they know is instinct. Survival. They need to do this to survive, so they cannot understand. But animal commit unwholesome deed or commit killing, they reap the same result, but they don't know that. It's because they live according to their instinct. They do what they do. They don't understand otherwise. So they themselves continue to get stuck into the cycle until one day someone who can help them or to somehow give them a good condition for them to get out of being, in that cycle of animal realm. Yeah. Is better than animal. They are better realm than animal because Holy Ghost, he can hear and understand human, the language. And even though they don't have the capability to do donation because their realm, their way of living is totally different from human. But there's one thing they can do. They can adumodana. They can adumodana mean that sympathetic joy. When someone commit wholesome deed, they can rejoice that wholesome deed. When you rejoice that wholesome deed, you partake the punya. Animal cannot do that. Animal, Kobe, he lived in the temple. He witnessed a lot of people who come and make donation. He cannot do animal dana. He doesn't know. He may feel the energy, the loving, the loving kindness of the soothing, the energy. He feels the energy. He may get calm, or he may feel happy, but he cannot happy when someone doing good deed. But Holy Goat can. And Holy Goat can understand what we say and all that. Because of that, they can be liberated from the suffering state. That's why he mentioned that when a being die, a person die, if they happen to be born in the hungry ghost, and they surround the people who make donation and often do share merit, then if they understand the concept, then they will perform, they will order sadhu, or they feel happy to see someone who who does the wholesome deed. Then they themselves will partake the merit as well. That's the important part. Okay. So hungry goats is above the animal realm. They still have the reasoning part. Dosa and loba dosa and moha. We call greed, anger, and delusion. All being do. But the thing that you do, the condition for them to be born in hungry ghosts is in many, there's several conditions for that. Let's say that attachment, or the thing that they say, like in this case, they because of the attachment, the greed, and then with the attachment, like more likely condition for them to be born in hungry ghost. For a being who born in animal realm, a lot of moha, a lot of ignorance, they don't understand otherwise. They just live according to greed, anger, and delusion. More likely, they born in the animal realm, being that so vicious, so angry, so like very evil. More likely be born in hell. Yeah, like that. So it depends on the situation. Not all cases is the same, right? But depend on the condition as well. And there's many level or many realm of hungry ghost beta. Not just everyone who born in a hungry ghost be the same way. Hungry ghost beta can be far away from people in the forest and endure a lot of suffering. Or hungry ghosts that they live, like we call ghosts, that they linger around the houses, family, temple, and waiting to receive merit from people who share them. And they less suffering than other like this kind of beta. Depends. There's several beta. The level of suffering depend on that. Yeah. But compared to animal realm, they much better. Yeah. And some of the beta, the hungry ghosts, they cannot receive merit because they are so far away from human, and they're not seeing people doing good deed for them to animal dharma. So according to the teaching of the Buddha, only one type of beta that easily receive the merit from the relative of the people who share is the one who linger around us. Like we often call ghosts of the house, or ghosts that's being around us, very close to us. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. This four is way in the forest, but not close to human. So they cannot witness people doing wholesome deed, or they cannot witness people who share merit. And the reason they got found out because of Venerable Moggallana. Moggallana, he has the best superpower, the superhuman power, that he capable of seeing this kind of Holy Ghost, and that's why he come and ask them and listen to their story. But if someone, if someone sees them and then tell them about someone who do good deed, and then they will adubodhana, then they will partake the benefit, the punya. But less likely that they will have it because we human don't see them. We don't have the capability, our eyes doesn't have the capability to see them. And they are way far from human to witness the wholesome deed. Okay? So that's why they cannot, it's difficult for them to receive merit that way. If they help, but they might always be greedy in thinking that when people help the temple, they help the temple for what reason, for what intention. That's the matter will come in. If they help the temple by thinking they own the temple and control the temple, not thinking about wholesome deed, then they cannot make merit that way. You know what I mean? It's just like you have your own house and be greedy attached to your house. You think it's your house, then you don't want anyone to touch it. There is no wholesome deeds in there. But if you help the temple out with the intention that this is the place, this is the school for people to learn the Buddha teaching and do wholesome deed to be free from all the suffering, then with that intention, you gain a lot of merit for that because that's wholesome deed. But people come control the temple thinking this is the temple. You do everything according to what I want. So you own the temple, just like you own a business, you own a house, you own anything. So there is no wholesome deed involved. So no wholesome deed, there's no punya. Well, they need to be educated, whether the monk or anyone else. They need to learn the teaching of the Buddha. They need to learn that what you do can lead you to become a betta, or be born in hell, or be an animal. They need to learn that, so that way they can change their point of view and do wholesome deeds instead. So not everyone come to the temple with the right intention and the right reason. Because of greed, anger, delusion that blind you. And when you have a little bit power, it blinds you. You think you are above everyone. And that's how you go down. You see? So, see, that's the monk's job, to educate them, to teach them from right and wrong, to teach them the teaching of the Buddha. So that's why it's important that you come to the temple, you learn the teaching of the Buddha. So a lot of people misunderstand. They think that they do this because they are making merit. They don't make any merit at all. In fact, they commit unwholesome deed. Exactly. If you help the temple out, but then people resent you, then you must have done something wrong, because the nature of loving kindness is to attract people, not draw people away. That's the nature without saying anything. You see, that's the nature. Even you don't do anything, you don't say anything. With the power of loving kindness, you attract people, make people feel safe and happy. That's the nature of it. And even if you possess or endure, if you have a lot of negative energy like greed, anger, delusion, without saying anything, without doing anything, you can still dispel people because of the energy that people get it from you. You see? So being in the temple doesn't mean you make merit. You might commit worse action than you would do outside. Because people believe the temple is where you learn the teaching the Buddha, you do good thing, you perform, and people will go to the temple, come together, do good deed, do generosity, like dana, right? But then again, you are different, and you're actually sucking up from the goodness of other people, and you owe so much. That's how they be born in the better realm and suffer from it. Because when you have power, you can do bad things, right? Like abuse people, and you may abuse the monk, the good monk, and you abuse the good monk, that's be bad, be worse action than you committed outside, right? Outside, sometimes you verbally abuse people, but they also have bad manner and unwholesome too. Then you only commit the unwholesome deed for that part. But if you impose bad speech or bad action on someone who has good moral, you not only commit bad karma, but you wear out your punya. So that's two loss, right? You commit between two bad people, harsh to each other. The only thing that you commit is bad karma. But if you harsh to someone who has good moral conduct, you not only commit bad karma, you lose your punya on that sense too. You wear away
the severity of the karma is stronger.
Yeah, the severity that you worse than the regular karma. You know what I mean? That's why killing a immortal person, the severity is not as bad as killing a mortal person. You know what I mean? And the severity of killing a mortal person is not as bad as killing a good monk. And the severity. This is what I meant. I spoke about wear away the punya. Yeah, the unwholesome deed, the severity that you the result is different. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think it's about time we wrap it up.